Hello friends, I am Amarnath. Welcome to NEOMENTORS IAS Academy. In this session, we will talk about the concept of soldiering that is given by F.W. Taylor as a part of his scientific management. So what is this soldiering? What is the basic meaning of soldiering? And what are the reasons why this soldiering takes place? What are the reasons for soldiering in organizations? And how it can be seen in other type of organizations? Because Taylor has given this concept based upon his understanding of Midway Steel Company. So, by his experiences in this steel company, he has found this kind of effect. So, whether it can be seen in other types of organization. So, we will evaluate this concept and effect of soldiering. So, what is soldiering? So, soldiering is the process, a deliberate process. It is a process of lowering the productivity by workers. It is in a simple way. It is workers purposefully lower their productivity. Workers purposefully work below their capacity. So that is what the meaning of soldiering. So soldiering is nothing but a deliberate attempt of the workers to reduce their working capacity, to reduce their productivity. So which is called as soldiering. Alright. So what are the reasons for this soldiering? So why workers deliberately reduce their capacity? Why do they work less? Why the workers reduce their productivity? So there are three main reasons given by Taylor. Alright. First of all, if workers work more, it will lead to surplus productivity. It will increase the production, it will lead to surplus production, and ultimately this surplus production will only benefit the management but not the workers. That is, when workers work more, the productivity increases, the profitability increases, and this increased productivity will become a standard. This increased productivity will become standard, because of which the workers who perform less, who underperform, they will be weeded out from the organization. Simply they will be fired out. So this higher productivity will become a benchmark. It will become a standard output, and which will be used for measuring the performance of the workers. And those workers who underperform, they will be removed or they will be fired out. So for this reason, workers will never increase their productivity. They will deliberately reduce their productivity. So this is first reason. So coming to second reason, though there is increased productivity, the wages paid to the workers, they are not increased accordingly. This is one reason. So non-incentive wage system will encourage low productivity. That is lack of corresponding increase in the wages. Alright, it is another reason for lower productivity. Alright, and the third reason that is given by Taylor is workers waste their time and effort just by following the non-scientific, that is simple rule of thumb. The reasons for lower productivity by workers is the non-scientific methods used. One is non-scientific methods, that is workers simply follow a simple rule of thumb during their work process. So these are the reasons for reduced productivity, right? These are the reasons for soldiering. And even Taylor has gave two types of soldiering. One is natural soldiering and the other one is deliberate soldiering. Other one is deliberate soldiering. So natural soldiering is because of the inability of the workers. It is because of lack of capacity or lack of abilities of the individual workers. Whereas deliberate soldiering, which is mostly seen in the organization. So this deliberate soldiering takes place because workers wantedly they will lower their productivity. Alright. So this is what about the reasons for deliberate reduction of productivity. Alright. So now how can we use this in what we call other papers? So ultimately we should use this. If we take this concept of soldiering, it is not only restricted to private organizations, it is not only restricted to what we call any production organizations. It can be seen in every type of organization, including public bureaucracies, including the what we call the bureaucratic organization, including bureaucratic organizations. Alright. So how bureaucracies behave, right? So we can use this concept, we can use these reasons for analyzing the productivity of bureaucrats, right? So why bureaucrats deliberately reduce their productivity, or why bureaucrats reduce their working abilities? So it can be natural, it can be because of natural factors. The same time it can be because of out of a deliberate attempt by bureaucrats. Alright. So one is the non-scientific and using simple rule of thumb during their discharge of work. Alright. Similarly, alright, in order to protect their fellow workers, in order to protect their what you call fellow bureaucrats. Alright. So because bureaucrats always acts as an interest group, they always protect their own fellow beings. Alright. So in the process of protecting their fellow beings, they can also reduce their productivity. Alright. The same time, alright, no bureaucrat want to what you call make, or no bureaucrat will desire to ensure higher benchmarks, because performance appraisals is always done based upon the productivity, the work done by the bureaucrats. So higher benchmark means it requires what you call high amount of work to be done to get promotions, to get higher wages, to get higher salaries. So everything depends. Everything you take promotions, advancements, any kind of benefits to civil servants or bureaucrats, it depends upon the performance of the individuals. So higher benchmark will only lower these benefits. So no bureaucrat will try to increase these benchmarks. So in this process, the bureaucrats will deliberately lower their what we call productivity. So this is how we can use the concept of Taylor to understand the productivity of organizations, the productivity of bureaucracies, and bring necessary changes. So even Taylor has given a solution for this. He has given a solution for avoiding soldiering through his what we call experiments. He gave one best way of doing the work. Right? He has given one best way of doing the work by analyzing the work process, workflow. Right? So we can use this concept of soldiering in civil services. So wherever you find the topic of civil services, either in paper 1 or in paper 2. So in paper 1 we have the topic of personal administration. There you can use this concept. Similarly, in paper 2 you have the topic of district collector, you have the topic of administrative reforms, you have the topic of civil service reforms. So you can use this Taylor, you can use the concept of Taylor in bringing reforms, or in analyzing the working of bureaucracies.